What's going on, guys? Welcome to my channel, and I'm here to review and break down Predator versus Wolverine, number one. Came out this week that just passed, um, and it was just I believe this book is just amazing, just an amazing book from us you know from a scale of 1 to 10. I would say this is a very solid 9. This book is just wonderful. It's awesome. It's action packed. It is just pretty spectacular. So let's break it down a little bit. The writer is Benjamin Percy. Um, Two artists that are pretty well, Ken Slashley and Greg Land, Andrea DeVito. Um, the art in this book is it's um it's very good. Starting with the cover. The cover is just eye grabbing. We have our two main figures here. We have the Predator and Wolverine, and this is a crossover that, in my opinion, should have happened a long time ago. I mean, the Predator, it's uh, it's a very popular cult movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day, back in the, I think it came out back in the 80s, late 80s, if I'm not mistaken. And there's several sequels, and the Predator is just one of those famous Hollywood monsters at this point, There's been a lot of movies, a lot of sequels, remakes type of movies, and he has he has been pretty. He has had several successful comic book runs. A lot of Dark Horse comics come to mind. Dark Horse was, I'm not sure if they're still around, but they used to publish a lot of Predator related material in comic books, stories, ongoings, and crossovers with DC Comics. I remember the Predator going against Superman. um, I remember the Predator going against Batman. Those were very popular, high selling comic books back in the day. So that's why I say, this crossover between Wolverine and Predator, it's a given, man. I mean, Predator is a character. The gist is basically he's an alien. They're an alien race, and hunting is in their blood, and they like to hunt for the best predator, for the best prey, the most menacing prey, the most what they consider, I guess, um, worthy opponents, and they go after them, and they of course, Hollywood being, just they have come down to planet Earth, and in several stories where they go after either worthy human opponents. In the movies, in the comics, they go after worthy opponent superheroes, like Superman, like Batman. I remember the one with Superman. Superman had to be depowered in the storyline, because obviously, a normal Superman, a Predator, wouldn't be any match. But they managed to make it work back then. So that said, Benjamin Percy, from what I can tell, he's been handling the Wolverine ongoing in Marvel Comics for a while now, and he's I guess he's done a very decent job. He has kept the job of handling Wolverine's adventures. Ken Lashley is it's an artist that I follow. I like his style, very dynamic. He's done a lot of work for DC Comics, and Greg Land has a very good style, a very photorealistic style that I love. Also have followed them. I followed both of them, and Andrea DeVito too. Their artwork, for a long time now. So they're good. That's a very good, solid, creative team. So I had my hopes up, and let me just say off the bat that it didn't disappoint. Uh, this is a beautiful opening page. We see Wolverine in real trouble. He's being hunted. He has a very severe injury, as you can tell. His arm is almost off his inches. It's crazy visual, beautiful visual. Wolverine looking really, really in bad shape, and as you can see, he's being hunted. We can see how predators usually view their prey following their heat signature, and this particular predator is following Wolverine around. Wolverine is really hurt, and he's trying to survive, even though Wolverine is a pretty hard to kill mutant, because he has a very advanced healing factor, unbreakable bones, laced with adamantium. He's one of my favorite characters. I love that character. So he keeps being followed. Wolverine keeps running, and we finally see a cloaked um, predator, the cloaked predator that is going after him. You see him right here on top of this rock. Uh, he's clearly in charge. He's hunting Wolverine. Wolverine is in really deep trouble, and the writing, the inner dialogue, it's all on point. As we can read Wolverine's, point of view, his inner thoughts. Let's read this page, because this is the end of a long, long trail, one that has spanned time and distance. And in these final moments of the hunt, he wants to be seen. He wants us to face each other, to recognize each other as predator and prey when he rips out my spine. And that's a very ominous opening. Beautiful opening story, action packed, adrenaline filled. It reads a lot like a movie, like an action movie, like an actual predator movie. So we get the gist of what a predator is, and the gist of what Wolverine is all about. And it's very simple, very eye-catching title here: Predator versus Wolverine. You can see over here the writers: Benjamin Pressy, artist Ken Lashley, Greg Land does he does the art for the past sequence, and Jay Layston, he inks Young Wolverine. Andrea DeVito inks the Team X, which is the Ken Lashley section. Color artist Juan Fernandez, Frank Diamara, letter BC's Corey Petit, and the cover was done by the amazing Marco Cicero, who's done a lot of work, a lot of wonderful Punisher comics, and Daredevil too. So let's keep going. So the story switches to Alaska territory, circa 1900s. So Wolverine being, one of those mutants that has, because of his healing factor, has lived centuries. He's had so many adventures, and that's the beauty of the character, that you can go to the past and write a very good story where he's in a different time and different place, and you have a lot of range with the storytelling, and that you can use Wolverine in. So over here, Wolverine's in the wild, he's in the snow, he's a young guy, very young, as you can see. Greg Land does beautiful job of portraying him, and making it clear that this is not the older hard-boiled Logan. This is a young Logan who hasn't been through the ringer yet, even though obviously he's already having hardship stories and hardship times. But you know, over here he's in the wild. He's living with bears, as only Wolverine can do. So we see, a spaceship come down, and out of it comes a young predator. This predator is also very young. We find this out through the dialogue, and we see him surveying the area, surveying the land, and somebody has killed uh, one of his kind. So this guy prepares beautiful art, just very eye-catching art, just amazing sequences. Like I said, it plays a lot like a movie, this comic book, and I love it. I love it. So over here we have Wolverine, and he's being kind of hired for a job by this very shady character. Here we go. Let's read a little bit. He's the one you're looking for. If you want someone crazy enough for the job you're talking about, especially with a blizzard on the way, what it'll be then? You know what I want, man. This one's on me. The next one too, how about? The bartender says, just keep going to keep at it so you know. If that's the case, then how about the bottle? We'll share it, says Logan. No, says the guy. I'm sorry. So Logan says, you'll be smart to stay clear of me. And why is that, says the guy. Because things are about to get ugly. And this is, the best part about doing a Wolverine story. Wolverine is a very simple character. He's not complex, and he's being written very properly here, as advertised. Logan Wolverine is, hard-nosed, tough character that it's all about the action. He wants to be left alone, but he's always running into, shady characters. And he's he's a very testosterone driven hero. And I wouldn't have it any other way. So he's always coming across, guys that want to beat him up, that want to kill him, or double cross him, as we are about to see. So Wolverine makes short work of this guy. And he's good even without using his claws, and he makes sure that he makes it clear, he's good with the weapons, he's good with the hand-to-hand, and he knows how to defend himself. He's not a defenseless person. Amazing action sequences. Look at this. Greg Land. This is Greg Land illustrating. He's an amazing talent. I'm a big fan of his. He does a lot of photorealistic illustrations, especially with the facial expressions and stuff. And I appreciate that because I'm an artist myself, not professionally, not yet, unfortunately, but I usually use myself as a model. I take pictures of a certain face expression or maybe a pose that I want to illustrate, and I use it. And Greg Lang is a master of it. I can tell. He uses models, he uses magazines, he uses real life people or illustrations and pictures to make his, illustrations in comic books. So Wolverine basically over here, he proves himself as being a tough guy, and you know, he takes this guy's hand off by using a tool. Mm. See, back then, he says, I try not to pop the claws in those days. Last thing I wanted was more hateful attention. So, even back then, um, obviously popping up claws from his hands, he would have, even back then in the 1900s, if somebody saw him doing that, it stands to reason that, yeah, he would have been looked at differently, like a freak, like a circus freak of some kind, and so he tried to avoid that. He was a smart cookie. So I like that Benjamin Percy addresses this. It makes sense for that character. Meanwhile, uh, the young predator, he's killing everything he sees, using his weaponry very effectively. Look at this illustration. That's a beautiful splash page. Half splash page. He's a very effective killer. Very effective. Over here, he kicks the snow as in, that wasn't too hard. So, predators get bored by easy targets, easy prey. They like tough prey. I think they consider an honor to die fighting tough prey. Over here, he gets his wishes and he gets attacked by a puma, by a mountain lion. So we get a little small sequence of him going after tougher prey here. He goes after a mountain goat. He goes after a puma. At one point he went hunting even for a killer whale. That's an amazing illustration. Look at that. And it's just customary for them, they peel the skulls and they hang them up as prizes, as trophies. So over here he comes across this little wood town, and as you can see over here, he's cloaking, he's observing, because that's what predators are master at. They use stealth to observe the prey they decide to go after, but they look at it first. They study it. There are more illustrations, more work. We get Wolverine thinking about his past a little, about his dad. Maybe that's one of the reasons I say yes, he wanted his son back desperately. I always be kind of raw and messed up when it comes to that old father and son thing. So there's the motivation for you, why Logan decided to be a little bit trusting with this stranger. And they get ambushed here. And they discover all these, people that have been killed and they've been hunted by the predator. They're monsters. Right? Looks like a bad weather on our side. They haven't posted watch. Be swift, my friend, and show no mercy. So, Logan at this point, he's under the impression that this guy is looking for his kidnapped son. And Logan sympathized, as he pointed out, and he decided to help the guy. Logan doesn't just go around helping anybody, not even back then. The predator's watching, he's observing, he's basically seeing Logan in action. Logan comes in, this time he pops up the claws, and he goes and he slashes and he makes very short work of these would-be kidnappers. Suddenly, Logan Wolverine he's shot from behind, and it's the very guy that hired him. Where is the boy? Well, I suppose they're all my boys in a way. They were all scamps and orphans like you. I hire them on to do jobs for me. Nothing like that nasty bit of business in the woods. That was some enterprising freelancer. But I did commission a railroad robbery from them. The pay card contained 20,000 in cash and bones. So he double crossed Logan. He just used Logan as a weapon, basically. He did a good job of manipulating Wolverine. So, Wolverine's down. He grabs the money. This was all about money for him. And when he's about to leave, boom, he's blasted out of planet Earth, basically, by the Predator. The Predator comes in. He's built like I guess like a swimmer. It's kind of, jarring. I prefer a tougher, more muscular-looking Predator, but I guess the idea here is that he still has like a teenager type body, a young body. So they're very much like humans. He's looking at the dead people, and there we go. Wolverine heals, and he goes after the Predator, and he actually does manage to hurt the Predator in the neck. Whatever you are, I'm going to carve the ugly of you. The Predator is a master fighter, as you can see. Back in the 1900s, Wolverine, his bones were still not laced with the unbreakable adamantium. So this Predator manages to cut his claws, and it's very, very painful for Wolverine. It's, basically he got his bones cut, and this Predator is merciless, and he just skewers Wolverine on the torso. Wolverine's really, really hurt, and he leaves. He runs away. So that's, I like that. I like that Wolverine, even though he's tough, he's gung ho, and but he's smart enough to know when to retreat, because he needs to heal and stuff. He needs to let his healing factor work for him. We draw a nice comparison. The young Predator also decides to not follow and try to heal his neck wound that Wolverine infiltrated on him. So they're both healing their severe injuries in their own way. The Predator keeps following, using his long-range weapons. He catches up with Wolverine. So Wolverine's being put through the winger in this story. Come on and get it, you ugly piece of shit. So, Wolverine lured the Predator where this bear was. Because as you recall at the beginning of the story, Wolverine's sleeping in this cave where these bears are at. So he lured this Predator, which is very smart, and this bear just attacks the Predator. It looks like the bear will get the better of this Predator, and Wolverine celebrates. Don't got many smiles in me, but I might have cracked one then. Because nothing will make you feel more alive than the taste of death. Kind of morbid. I'm not sure that Wolverine thinks that way, but Benjamin Percy went that way with it. As time goes by, Wolverine's wondering what's going on. He leaves, but as you can see in the panels, the Predator wasn't done for. He actually comes out and he makes short work of that bear. And then we go back to the present, South America, many years ago, but it's no longer a 1900s, as you can see by the helicopter. And this time we're looking at the mercenaries that Wolverine used to hang out with back in the day. He's older now though, and these are some nasty mutants. They were mercenaries and they worked with Logan. Sabretooth, Jackson, Cruel, Maverick. They all have special abilities. They are all predators themselves. So it's a story that will have a lot of cool things going on, a lot of cool characters crossing each other and stuff. And it's gonna be very interesting, to see the Predators crossing over with these Marvel characters. It's just and this is the cliffhanger. We have more than one Predator, and they're coming after Wolverine's team. So it has, this story has layers. We're talking about, something that happened in the 1900s, something that's happening in the present, and something that happened somewhere along the middle. So it's a timeline that encompasses Wolverine's life, and he came across these predators more than once, obviously. Next up, Hunting Party. So let me just close by saying that this is an amazing, amazing book, and I loved all of it. It's action packed. The best thing I appreciated about it is that it's not woke. There's no political messaging in it. There's no annoying females in it, women that hate men or are doing things better than men or any of that type of bullshit. This is a straightforward, adrenaline-filled, action-packed story. And interestingly enough, is the main publisher is 20th Century Studios, along with Marvel. It's all under the same umbrella, anyways, because Fox is owned by Disney, anyways. But kudos, man, to Benjamin Percy for giving us a very straightforward, action-packed story featuring two of the coolest action-packed characters in fiction today. The Predator and Wolverine from Marvel Comics. Just an amazing crossover, and I'm looking forward to issue number 2. And I just want to say that this is an amazing book. I loved all of it, and I hope you guys enjoy me going over it in my own crude way. Give me likes, dislikes, comments. I love comments, so please subscribe to my channel if you can, so I can keep doing this. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.